Welcome back to One Piece Anime Review. This is episode 70. Yep, my 7th anime review for One Piece. Which makes this the second, it's quite possibly right now the second longest anime review series I've actually done. Behind Boruto by about 7 episodes at least. Yeah, this episode, I'm talking about the 858th episode of the anime, which is known as, get to it here. It is known as Another Crisis, Gear 4 versus Unstoppable Donuts. And the 921st chapter of the manga, Shutenmaru, I think it's pronounced. Yeah, where it has a really interesting ending. I will talk about that soon. First, let's talk about this new episode of the anime. This one pretty much stops the last 3 pages of chapter 884, which is chapter pages 15 to 17, and then there's something really weird for chapter 885. It's like they have almost the entire chapter, except they skip 4 pages. They have pages 2 through 9 and 14 to 17, which when I saw, I'm like, okay, it looks like they just adapt almost the entire chapter by 4 pages. I don't know why, but maybe next episode they're probably going to adapt those missing pages. I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, in the case of this episode, this one kind of wraps up let's say the first round of Luffy's fight with Katakuri. Yeah, I would definitely say first fight. It concludes it, where Luffy continues fighting him for a little while. I would say for the first 5 minutes of the episode, it's basically them fighting. Now, there's basically about 3 different settings. But here's the thing. The first setting actually crosses over the third one. Yeah, seriously. It actually crosses over much later on in the episode. Yeah. Luffy concludes his fight right now because he's running out of hockey. So he has like 10 minutes without any hockey. So he's had to run out. And then, for some reason, yeah, and this happens in manga as well, where Luffy sees Braylee, blushes, and then jumps on her through a mirror and lands in a house. Yes. And he's like, whose house is this? And of course, that's when Big Mom. Of course, I will talk about that in a minute. Yeah, but the way that the way he lands, it's kind of almost like a sexual pose in a way, but he's not standing like in the area you probably think. He's kind of the way he's sitting. He's kind of sitting on top of her, but just below her chest. That's because she's a very tall woman. Yeah, she's about the same height as Katakuri, and my guess is he's about almost halfway down her belly. That's basically where he's sitting. Yeah, and then you see, of course, Big Mom. Of course, I'll get to that in a minute. In the case of what goes on with Sanji, Pudding, Clifton, that pretty much that little plot thread that's been going on for the past several episodes of them baking this cake. The cake is done. They got decorated. And Clifton finished it, and it turns out that Sanji's secret ingredient is whipped cream. It's basically a Slim Jim cream. Like, okay, that's interesting. Yeah, and the fact that that there's one cook that nearly dies of uh well tasting the whipped cream, and apparently it's so delicious that he nearly dies of it. Yeah, and Pudding once I get a chance to he's like, no, we're gonna save that for later. And he says, you're a dependent highlight, so I don't want you to eat it just yet. Yeah, though of course I do know that Benj gets a sample of the cake. Yeah, he gets to try a sample of it, just try how good it is, and he loves it. Though the cake is very wobbly when it comes out. Yeah, it looks like it's the same height as the cake that was seen before. Of course, they take it on the ship, and that's that. In the case of how the third part of the third plot thread of the episode crosses the first one, it's quite unusual how this happens. And of course, there's a minor, there's a couple scenes with the Straw Hat crew. It's nice they do this. It's not like in the manga where this is like 2 panels. Yeah, this takes up a good, I'd say, about 3 minutes of the episode. Yeah, the rest of the Straw Hat crew who actually are in this arc, they're only in this episode for about 3 minutes, very briefly. Oh yeah, there's even one minor thing involving Jinbei's crew, and it involves his first mate's wife, Prelude, a hammerhead mermaid. Yeah, because her hair is basically what it is. Yeah. So, Yeah, smoking hot woman. And I got handed to Jinbei when he originally formed his alliance with Big Mom. I was like, damn, he found his first mate a smoking hot woman to marry. Good on you, Jinbei. Yeah, I'm sure he was not interested in marrying one of Big Mom's kids. So he's like, okay, how about my first mate? Can he marry one of your kids who's, sort of a fish person? Or at least someone who's similar race to hers? And I'm sure that probably Big Mom was like, sure. How about this one? And from what I've heard from early on, she loves her husband. Yeah, and of course they even show her doing laundry when she's singing, and she's the one who makes these territorial snails who kind of inform. They're kind of basically their sonar. She makes all of them disappear with her singing. Yep. There's even a brief moment of her husband Aladdin dancing. Yeah, dancing, which is so adorable. The fact that they do this. Yep. Trying to think though. Yeah, I don't remember her name. The one who's kind of like a long neck. Let's see. What is her name? It's not. It's not that one. Is it Madi? I think it is. They do show briefly Custard, who is one of their siblings. They show her briefly for like a good 30 seconds, like a quick, like 1 minute cameo. No, it's not this one. I know it's one of them. Let's see. She's one of the. It looks like she's one of the. Yeah, I think it's this one right here. Yeah, Amanda. Yeah, she's actually. Let's see. Yep, this is her. Yeah, the demon lady, the one who looks like she has got like a long neck. Yeah, she's actually in a good chunk of this. So I'm not sure where they gave the idea of a snake woman. So my guess is that one of apparently Big Mom has had about like probably about 30 ex-husbands, and probably her father was probably someone of a snake person tribe. And boy, this woman is smoking hot, but she smokes. Yeah, a lot of time you see her, she's smoking. Yeah, that's the way she's one of those handful of characters who just smoke. Yeah, though they don't give a reason why. At least Sanji has a reason why, because, well, when he was younger, he didn't get enough food. In the case of Pedro, because he feels like it. Her, they don't really say. Yeah, she's seen for a good chunk of the episode, and Matsuro, who actually is shocked to hear about the territory snails just disappearing. Yeah, him, Peckham's, and Baron's Mongo are all shocked to hear they all disappeared, and I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of this woman's name. The one who reports to him is name. She's kind of like a subordinate of his who constantly reports on stuff. Let's see. What is her name here? It's not Napoleon. Is this one? No, it's not this one. Oh, I can't find the person's name, but yeah. You could chance see some of the Big Mom's kids in this episode, like Smoothies. So a lot of just make quick cameos, preparing for like the search for Straw Hats by themselves because Ceratops Snails all disappeared. Oh, and how does the first plot thread cross over to the third one? Well, Big Mom goes and that's on that's where Amanda Lee is. And you show Big Mom actually arriving on the course. She goes on her rampage. Like, where's wedding cake? Where's wedding cake? And of course, Pedros is informing everybody about this. And then the episode ends quite weirdly. It's kind of like Luffy is still on top of Rayleigh and calls her Brunch because he can't remember her name. That's how Luffy is. And then the roof comes off of the house that they're in. And of course, Big Mama Hunger Punch. Of course, if she saw Luffy acting as one of her daughters, she's like, "What are you doing to my daughter?" Yeah. Though half the time I think she doesn't give a damn about her own kids. All she cares about is strengthening her own power. And the episode kind of ends that way. But yeah, this was a really good episode. Now, on to the newest chapter of the manga. And this chapter does not have a cover story. Nope, but does have a shocking cliffhanger. Yeah, there's even a great looking picture of like almost all the female characters in the series. Yep. I'd say most. Let me see briefly. Shirahoshi, you see her. Looks like it's you see Nami, Robin, Hancock, Big Mom. I think it's Vivi. And I think it'll almost be Nico Robin. Yeah, it's just really cool. Yeah, it's one. Yeah, one is basically Nico Robin. The other one's, of course, Bala Hancock. Yeah, it's a great looking spread Oda did for this chapter. Yep. All right, the chapter starts up pretty much like I would say immediately afterward. I'd say not long after that. They're still in the ruins of the castle that used to belong to the daimyo's family, and they talk for a bit, like planning like who consider like overthrowing Kaido, and he says, "I already have a wife." Don't misunderstand. He's like, yeah, and of course everyone thinks that this woman is Katakuri's wife, but nope. It's like his girlfriend. Nope, he already has a wife. She says, "Oh yeah, she's still alive." Though I wonder if she'd be shocked to see that her husband, who is not aged in 20 years. They talk about like rebellion marks, like people with this tattoo on their foot, and they also talk about what Frankie and Robin have been up to, and then of course they're happy to see them again. And then he puts stones in everybody's hand, does the same thing he did in Punk Hazard. He gives everybody these special disguises, like Brooks got like arrows in him, and of course Nami and Kara got these special looking komodos, like Kanochi. Chopper is a ninja, and of course Sanji looks like he's wearing pretty much the same outfit the Katakuri he's wearing. Yeah, it's a great looking picture, and it's great to see Kara wearing something aside from her usual attire. It's like that is attire of a Kanochi. Yeah, it's so funny. Yep, and of course, then an actual Kanochi shows up, a female ninja, as a real Kanochi, and it's a slightly older woman who looks like a bit overweight, but yeah, she can get the job done. Then we see they mention like Luffy Toro, like please give us like whatever. It's like, yeah. Then we have the guy who is titled the chapter, Shutenmaru, who's right on the back of a giant bull sleeping, or he's laying down being lazy. And then we see for the first time since the zoo arc, Jack. Yes, the guy with one of the highest bounties of the series. He makes his return. First time in what looks like over 100 chapters since we last saw him. Yep, and we see him briefly fight. I think Zoro gets to a fight with him. Yeah, I think it's Zoro who fights him. Actually, it's not Zoro. It's the other guy. And then we see Trafficker Law talking for a bit. And then the chapter ends the most shocking way possible. Kaido shows up! Yes, the guy who they came to this country to take down. He shows up. As for why he's there, it's like a dragon. Who is that? It's Kaido. Wow, I saw this like, sweet Jesus. The main villain in this arc shows up. And this arc has not been going on for very long. It's only been going on for a good, I think it's been like about 13 chapters. Yeah, 13 chapters in and the main villain shows up. Yeah, it didn't take him very long. So what we think is probably going to be a long arc, and looks like it's probably not going to be as long as everyone thought it would be. I would have thought maybe they would have to hold off showing Kaido for at least about 3 more chapters. I didn't mind seeing Jack show up. It's great to see him, but I would have thought they would hold off and show off Kaido now until the surprise attack at his castle. But this overall is a really damn good chapter, and it has a humongous progression forward of this particular arc. And it's only 13 chapters in. And it's weird we have Kato show up now to take on the heroes. I would have thought they would have waited a little bit before they actually did this. I would have thought maybe about 3 or 4 more chapters before they felt like this. I would have thought they would wait to maybe 9:25, maybe 9:30, but why 9:21? And we just came back from a 1-week break and we have this shocking thing happen. Gotta hand it to Oda. He loves doing shocking cliffhangers. Yep. Yeah, otherwise though, that's it for that chapter. I'm gonna give this chapter roughly a 9.5. I think it's really good. Okay. So that's it for this particular review. Stay tuned for my review of Boruto. Yep. I'll talk about that soon. Okay. Until I see you there. Bye.